Hello guys, Happy New Year's Eve. Today I'm going to talk about the year of 2023. Hello, how are you doing? And first I'd like to say that I decided to do this live in a New Year's Eve, so you'll hear pyrotechnics and my neighbors with a louder music, but that's okay. What matters here is really the message I'm trying to deliver to you. I think that's important, and I could decline doing it today and now. Okay, so the year of 2023 numerology, is the year of 7, the year of the Chariot, and the major arcana of the tarot. But first I'd like to talk about how those mysteries of the unconscious work. They express themselves through images, through symbols, and they're very important because every reality was first, in the beginning, an image, a thought, a symbol, okay? And we underestimate our unconscious. We underestimate what we can't see, what we can't perceive. And that started with the Illuminism and the rationalism of the science. That's when we started thinking that what we can touch, what is in our thoughts, like imagination, is not real or it's not important. And nowadays we know that's totally wrong, since Freud, I guess, last century. And that's why it's important to bring up history and occult science to the play again, because society can get better as a whole if we get the message from the unconscious and the archetypes. I'm going to follow here the text I wrote. Otherwise, I would leave stuff behind, so excuse me. And so, we need to search for a core for the word in front of the destruction of the rationalism which it can lead us to. Okay? That's why it matters as the tarot, as alchemy, as analytical psychology, myths, fairy tales, astrology is very important. So we can decipherate our minds as individuals and as a collective. So archetypes, they hold this energy which can transcend in a core, as I said, in our individual and collective level. All gods are archetypes. Here, this year, as I said, the year 7, the year of the Chariot. Okay, that's the mythic tarot by Liz Green. Okay, and here we have the story of Aries. He is the driver of the Chariot. So to get the full archetype from this story, I'd like to introduce you to his story. Okay, Aries was a Greek god. He is son of Hera and Zeus in some stories, in some versions, but in others, he doesn't have a father. She just conceived him. He's known as a god of war, and more properly, he is the spirit of the battle. And his Roman equivalent would be Mars. He represents the distasteful aspect of the brutal warfare and slaughter. He's this whole energy. And he was Aphrodite's lover, and they fathered, Aphrodite gave birth to Deimos, the god of fear, and Phobos, the god of terror. And then they gave birth as well to Harmonia, which is balance, love, and strife. And in some stories, for example, told by Simonides in the 6th century of the before Christ era, Eros was their son as well, the god of love. So we can see here that this aggressive will, and Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty, when they reunite, they can produce destruction or they can lead you to balance. That's the story behind Aries, and that's very important to know the Chariot card, okay? And the number 7. The number 7 is the number of destiny and transformation. It also signifies movements, as we see here. Domination of the spirit over matter, and mutation, transformation remind us that are 7 principles and 7 sins. 7 days of the week, 7 metals in alchemy. In its negative side, the 7 is like hatred, violence, and destruction. 7 is the way of transformation, is this movement, the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new one, in opposite renewal. 7 symbolize the totality of space and time, and in movement, in dynamic fullness. And then we get the anxiety feeling of crossing to the unknown. If this cycle is over, what is next? In the Minor Arcana, the number 7 symbolize like the full cycle, from beginning to an end. So, 7 is as well the symbol of union of the opposites, the resolution of the dualism, a symbol of unity and perfection as the cycle ended. A full cycle is the number of man and the principle of the universe. So here is a very strong and meaningful number. And Aries, as I said, the Greek god, is the driver of this chariot, okay? As I said, he's the god of war, the spirit of the battle. In this picture, he represents aggressive instincts, guided and directed by the will of consciousness. And those horses, they are the conflicting animals, urges within us, which must be handled with strength, firmness, yet not repressing or breaking them, okay? Because they are part of us, they are very important. So, here it goes on full speed with necessary balance, okay? To keep both horses in the same way and in the same direction. Here is the balance of the opposites energy. We see a white horse and a black horse, like the yang circle, light and shadow. And we must keep balance with those opposite energy and with some libido, some energy that keeps the chariot in movement. With a good intuition, every driver needs a good intuition that can change direction whenever is needed. An act that allows change of viewpoint through surprising and fruitful insight. That what is he's living here. So, receptivity, balancing, mastery, triumphs, all of them are words for discard, but pen is necessary to reach inside and gain command over one's passion. That's a card of passion. This energy we have within. As we have seen, the year of 22 was the year of the lovers. A year that we had to choose in between what is meaningful for us, what we want to live for. And that's for that the Chariot is going for. Okay, here we make a decision. We know the self-thread in between ego and self. And here we get hints of the self to keep something in work into the world through us. Okay? Something that is very important to us. So, yet, psychic mobility triumphs over inaction and fixation. The year of 22 is the year that Pluto will be in Aquarius. Pluto is the god of the infraworld, the underworld. He is the god of death and renewal, of transformation. He is the Nigredo in alchemy. So the last time we saw Pluto in Aquarius was during the French Revolution. The year of 2022 was the year we saw war, riots over women's rights and against dictatorships and people defending dictatorships and authoritarian movements. We had people fighting for their ideals with lots of passion. Okay, and in this year, the year of the Chariot, things are going to continue. Okay? So, we must know how to balance our will, okay? To control our passions, work our instincts with intellect, and use intelligence to decipher our feelings and channel them correctly into the world. So, that means that the process of becoming conscious of the road we have ahead and the multiple layers, our ego, and we need to connect with the self, as I said. The Chariot is a new initiation in the journey of the Fool in the Tarot, okay? He comes from the 0 until now, the number 7. Here is a full cycle done. And here is where he gets glimpses of intuition, a tool that will talk to him about the depth of himself. In the Fool's journey, in the major arcana, he is now in the second half, in the second lesson of his life, to take the consequences of his action as a mature person. He is the Fool card, okay? He is Dionysus in the least green tarot deck. So, conflict, struggle, which can result in a stronger personality if we can resolve this polarity in a good way, in a positive way. Because all the archetypes has its polarity, the negative and positive side. And to deal with one's own contradiction is the Chariot labor, okay? But if the driver here of this car has a weak ego, let's pay attention to that. That is the danger of one abandon the entire process or be overwhelmed by the unconscious energy, which can lead to a race out of control, compulsively, unwillingly, and unable of self-control. That's the energy for 2023 as well. So it's not a full message of hope, but let's take care. Let's watch those weaker points, okay? The Chariot is the perfect symbol for the driving power of psyche as a dynamic and multifaceted process, always in movement, which requires a mature ego acting as a guiding force, okay? As the driver gets that it's about new energy and ideas where many aspects of psyche reunite and act together towards a common goal. In 2023, we have Saturn in Pisces. Saturn is a Titan, and he talks very much about spirituality. So we must find this spiritual path. In Pisces, even more, because Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, and a religion that uses Pisces as a symbol is the Christian religion. And having Saturn on that is very important. We need to channel those spiritual energy, okay? Aries here, his iron will and courage that are necessary, as well as a good spiritual connection established in the previous card, which is the Lovers. He needs to take responsibility for his actions as a mature person. That's going to be our call in 2023. If we have passions and fight for that, let's remember we must take responsibility for that. If good or bad, okay? We will have to deal with the outcome. So we have to learn how to deal with oneself and learn how to deal with others' aggressivity and ours, and our contradictions and other people's contradictions. The basic problem here is balance, to keep the car going, okay? We need to face the paradoxes and maintain harmony and balance. The Chariot represents a result of the alliance of the training intellect, the disciplined body, and the practical understanding served by the optimism and this youthful energy. Next year as well, we are going to have Jupiter in Aries, which is the same sign here. Jupiter is Zeus, okay? So we must have courage and happiness in this first half of the year. Jupiter is always going to Taurus, which is the love and prosperity aspect of this sign, this earth sign, and all of them in Jupiter. So it's a very good year to deal with, to materialize what we have sought in 2022. And I'd like to finish with two quotes by Jung. The first one: the transformation corresponds to the psychic process of assimilation and integration by means of the transcendent function. That's the Chariot. And what is the message in an individual and collective level from this card? Second quote: until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you call it fate, by Carl Gustav Jung. So thank you very much if you watched it until now. I hope it can be useful for you for your new year. Very happy 2023, and for all of you. And if you need a message from the tarot and you like to work with me, just send me a direct message or mail me and we can talk a little bit and see how it goes, okay? Now I'm doing the numerology by your year birth, so we can talk about that as well. So thank you very much. Have a very happy new year. Bye bye. See you next year.